Everyone, it's a beautiful English summer's morning, not a cloud in the sky. Look at that lovely blue sky, which is a bit unusual. There's not a cloud in it. I just thought I'd tell you a little bit about Violet. She's a 57 feet cruiser stern narrowboat, which in metric terms is about 18 or 19 metres, but they tend to talk about boats in feet in length rather than metric. Walking towards the stern, you can see the barge poles I have to push myself off if I get grounded, which has unfortunately happened a couple of times. Sometimes the canal might be a bit narrow and you get stuck, so you have to push off. Behind that is the solar panels, which today I'll charge my batteries fully, and there's a plank there. Sometimes you can't get close enough to the bank, and so you walk the plank literally. Violet is called a cruiser stern narrowboat because, as you see, it's got a cruiser stern, and a cruiser stern has plenty of room for 1, 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 people to stand while underway. Here is the engine controls, which puts the boat in motion. It's pretty simple really. You press the lever forward and it goes forwards, press it backwards and it goes backwards. When you move the lever, first of all it puts the engine into gear, then increases the revolutions of the engine, so of course the propeller turns and we move. There's the tiller. I don't have the tiller handle on at the moment because if I left it on and walked away, somebody might decide they want it more than what I do. We just have Mr. Perfect Match boat sailing by. There you go, I've just immortalised you on. Looking down into the engine room, you can see the diesel engine. It's a Beta 38 horsepower diesel engine, and it provides plenty of grunt for this size boat. In that wooden box there's a bank of 4 lead acid deep cycle batteries, which runs my fridge, my TV and everything through an inverter, which turns a 12 volt DC into 240 volt AC power. In that box is the engine starter box, and if I just swing round, there's the exhaust. It's lagged to stop you from getting burnt, and the exhaust exits through the side of the boat. In that steel box is called a weed hatch, and the idea is that if you get anything wrapped around the propeller, of course you don't want to go jumping in the canal to clear it, so you take that big metal cover off, which is well bolted down, and that way you can put your arm down and reach the propeller and clear it if it's fouled. And it's well bolted down because if it leaks with the engine and the propeller turning, it would cause water to come into the engine room, flood the boat and sink it. Walking down into the cabin, down the 4 steps, you can see that I have the double doors open and the hatch cover slid back. So now we'll just walk down the steps and into the cabin. Here we go. There we go, you can have a view into the bedroom. I'll just step back so you can see I've got overhead cupboards in this utility room, bench space. I'll just shift my jumper out of the way, and cupboards underneath. Looking back the other way, you can see the 7 kilo automatic washing machine, and that's where I hang my jacket. That washing machine only just fitted up that gap. There you can see there's some of the electrical controls, which probably won't interest the ladies, but I'll just swing round and you can see the engine controls in that cupboard there. Walking forward into the bedroom, as you can see I've got a lovely big comfortable double bed with overhead cupboards. Looking back the other way, you can see it's a triple wardrobe. The middle one is a bifold door so you can get in easier. The one on the left is all shelves, and I've got them little basket things in, you know, for putting underpants and socks and stuff. And there's a jacket which came with a boat. It's pretty handy on them cold mornings when you're standing behind the tiller. Looking out through the bedroom window, as you can see, they've all got these little hopper style windows which open, they actually open inwards at the top, which means that water doesn't come in, but ventilation, it works good. Walking forward through a small corridor, and we'll just go into the bathroom. There's the shower there. So I've got an overhead cupboard. There's the sink, and there's a cupboard underneath, I'll just come round. I've got a full length mirror there, you might have just seen me. I'll shift this towel out the road. And there's the cassette toilet. And I'll just put my finger in front of the lens. As you can see, it's a nice big shower with a bifocal glass door. It's almost as big as a shower we have at home. The cassette for the toilet is removed from the boat by just opening that little door and sliding it out, taking it away and emptying it and refitting, or putting the spare cassette in if we need it. It's very simple, doesn't leak, doesn't smell, and it works good. Walking forward into the kitchen. The kitchen is a U-shaped kitchen, as you can see. I'll just walk forward and swing around. There's an overhead cupboard, which a rotten glass fell out and cracked the screen on my tablet, so I'm nursing it now and hoping it'll last. There's the sink and the 4-burner gas stove. There's a microwave. There's a fridge and a gas wall oven and a gas grill. All the gas is automatic ignition, so you don't mess about with matches or anything. I'll just go around. There's the kitchen window on one side. We'll swing around, and there's the kitchen window on the other side, looking out onto the towpath. Walking forward into the saloon. I'll walk right forward. I've got my TV swiveled out the way, just to show you what it's like. It's on a wall bracket. I swivel out the way in case I want to go through those doors into the front cratch. It's called a cratch, the foredeck, I don't know why, but into the front cratch. And you've seen the cratch cover on the front of the boat where I just put a lot of junk. I've got coal and stuff and underneath there. There's a cupboard with electrical stuff in. There's the wood/coal burning stove, which of course it heats the boat, and it also heats the hot water. And heats the, you might have noticed there's 3 radiators in the boat too, and it heats the radiators for the central heating. I put the TV back. It's a nice big TV. I had a little TV, and luckily, well, it came with a boat, and luckily it died. So I bought a nice big TV now, so it's good for watching TV. And the people left these little pictures behind too. They're quite nice. I'll show you a couple of them. The pictures of what the canal was like 200 years ago, when it was horses drawing the boats, you know, before engines was invented. Looking back the other way, you can see my L-shaped dinette, my table, and beyond that, the kitchen. You may have seen these double doors on a previous video. These 2 double doors just open out and help to increase the view, I suppose, and increase the ventilation in the boat if you need it. I'll just open the doors and I'll show you. There we have the doors open. I've got a view of the towpath, the wall, and the back of somebody's shed. That's going up that way, and we'll just slowly swing around, and that's looking up towards the stern of the boat. See, I've got bollards here to tie onto, which makes it a lot easier. I didn't have to bang my pins in. The pins are sort of like oversized tent pegs, which you bash in with a big hammer and tie up to.